Hi everybody, and welcome to our third edition of the Principal's Page video newsletter. I'm Tom Adams, principal of Hamburg Middle School, joined again by Mrs. Boland, our assistant principal. We of course have the Principal's Page Bitmoji office in the background here. One thing we want to just remind people of is the way that you access the information on the Principal's Page is by going to the district website and then selecting schools, select Hamburg Middle School. Then there's a tab that says About Us, and if you drop down to that menu, you'll see Principal's Page. Click on that and you'll see this lovely picture behind us, seasonally appointed as well, I might add. Mrs. Boland's going to take us on a little walk through some updates that we have.
Absolutely. Things are moving and grooving at Hamburg Middle, so we've got a bunch of stuff happening and coming up. First is a chicken barbecue this Saturday from
11 o'clock to 6 o'clock, yes. But get there early.
Get there early because obviously, we've got some trick-or-treating to do tomorrow.
Indeed.
Maybe. That is at the high school though, not at the middle school. So middle school sponsored, but located at the high school. Also,
proceeds go to both athletics for like varsity H club at the high school, and also the Hamburg Middle School PTSA on that.
Perfect. Thank you. Mrs. Mulvert, our school librarian, will be sending out a letter to all families within the next few days or weeks, just explaining all of the fantastic resources that we have, opening the library back up and getting books into the hands of students where they belong. Also coming up, we have a virtual Hamburg Middle School talent show. It's back. If you remember it from the spring, we thought it was a lot of fun and it was a great morale builder then. Absolutely. I think it's going to be even more so now. So if you like to sing, dance, have comedy skits, martial arts, visual arts, just about any talent that you have, absolutely. If you want to jump on a pogo stick and see how long you can go.
We did see hula hooping from Miss Sperry last year, if you might recall that.
That was really
a talent
good.
show.
I liked it. So show us what you've got, make a recording, and send it to Mr. Adams by November 18th, and then we hope to get it out in the week right before Thanksgiving.
Yes, I think that was actually your vision with it, was you were going to get it out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving as a thank you to all of you and the entire community of Hamburg Middle School for all the work that you've done, the understanding that you've given us during this time, from not only this school year, but also from March on from last year too.
Absolutely. It's a great way to celebrate our staff and students. Also, one last thing that is up on the Principal's Page as well, Healthy Choices, Western New York United is having the Healthy Choices competition again this year. It's an art and poetry contest, and there's information on our Principal's Page. But those submissions are due November 20th to any student who's interested. All right, Mr. Adams, I think that's some pretty good updates.
That's some good updates, and keep in mind those updates are good for cohorts A, B, C, and D. They apply to all of our students, so again, we want to make sure that everybody feels included in this. And our message here at the video newsletter is to try to make people aware of things so they can take part in them. We're now going to change the background to something a little bit scarier. Not that tomorrow night at Halloween is going to be scary. We hope you have a lot of fun, safe fun that is. But we also have the closing of first quarter coming up. November 10th, grades will close for the first quarter of the 2021 school year. With that comes added concern, stress as students check student portal to see what their grades are. Parents check parent portal to see what their kids' grades are. And certainly the teaching staff and all of us at Hamburg Middle School are interested in how the students are doing. I want to make a quick distinction though. The idea of what we're learning in class is the most important thing. And those learning experiences that our students are having, both in person, if they're part of cohorts A, B, or C, and at home, which really applies to all cohorts, is what matters most. The grades truly are a reflection of that learning, or I should say hopefully are a reflection of that learning. But sometimes things impact what those grades end up being for first quarter. And I want to stress to everybody that we want to adopt the spirit of underreacting about the grades for right now. The way we are doing schooling this year in 2021 is awfully different from what we've experienced before. The grading model we're using this year, or this quarter, is very much similar to the grading model we've used in previous years, but it's not the same model that we used last spring. So last spring, it was pretty much about participation. putting some effort in. But the grades, as you know, weren't stressed really at all. It was more about the health and well-being of everybody. This quarter, certainly we're concerned about people's health and well-being, but we are going back to that more traditional model of grading. And again, if the grade is reflecting what's being learned, that's wonderful, but we have seen that there are some things that are getting in the way of that. Some things getting in the way of it are the newness of the remote learner for cohort D, the hybrid learner for cohorts A, B, and C. It's just a more challenging model that we're using. And yes, we've been forced into it. There's really no other option that we have right now. And I really believe that we're going to get better at it as we go. And I'm speaking we as a school, but I'm also speaking about the students. One of the biggest challenges that, and we've said this before, that our students are facing is how to organize their time on those days when they are not present in school. And those remote days of learning, I think, are really some of the biggest challenges that our students and families are facing. And to be honest, it's a challenge that our teachers are facing as well. They see it at home with their own students, with their own kids, and they see it within school with their students that they see during that hybrid schedule. We've tried to offer some tips as to how that remote time can be organized better. But a lot of it you're going to experience, I think, for many of our students, a little bit of a more awareness of the fact that the work that they're assigned during that time does indeed matter and impacts their grades greatly. So I guess I urge you to be aware that you might have some sticker shock for some in terms of what those grades look like at the end of first quarter. I encourage you to reach out to teachers, and I'm talking to students on this as well as parents, to make sure you have a good understanding of what's needed and what's required in those classes. And of course, our teachers are going to be reaching out to families as well. It's the end of the first quarter. We're heading towards the end of the first quarter of the school year. It is not the entire school year. Grades that aren't where you'd like to see them can improve over time, and we expect that they will. And we expect that they will because we will become more and more comfortable and used to what this hybrid model of learning, instruction, and assessment will be like. And we're thankful for your patience, we're thankful for your communication, and we'll do our level best to make sure that we're meeting that commitment on our end as well. And if you had anything to add to that,
No,
clean up my language a little bit.
Just going to stress to reach out to your teachers. Guys, you have all their emails, you see them 2 days a week, hopefully some of you, or you see them on the screen 4 days a week. Please, if you have questions, if you have concerns, reach out, and don't wait. Honestly, don't wait until grades are posted. We do it now. We
had a little bit of fun last week making a video about how to stop procrastinating and get organized. And even though we said some things tongue-in-cheek on there, the procrastination issue is really strong. I totally get it, how somebody in middle school on their remote days is going to put off doing their assignments. I was very much like that as a student at various times in my life. Sometimes I'm like that now. It's something that we can all recognize and get better at, and that's what we're trying to help our students do. We've got a lot of resources here. Keep in mind that the health and well-being, both physical, mental, and emotional, is the primary importance here. So keep an eye out for that. But we do want to see improvement on the part of all of us in terms of how our hybrid learning model works. The efforts have been wonderful, and we think we're going to get better at it. And we certainly include our students on that too. So thanks for watching. Though this is a scary background, you have a wonderful weekend and enjoyable Halloween, and we'll see you again in November. Take care, everybody.